Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. Jason here. Sorry it's been a little while since I posted a video. I'll try and make this pretty quick. Thank you to all of our patrons, all of our supporters. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's book and anything else that we might find applicable. I need to have some traffic through that Amazon thing that you guys suggest in order for it to keep going. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into today's video. So for today's video, I want to talk about a series that I recently read. I don't want to break this up into 6 individual videos. You guys have noticed, thanks to my little hiatus, I'm doing this a lot with some of these backlogged books that I've read. It's just to speed things up because otherwise I would have to film like 80 videos to try and keep up. And as you guys have noticed, I'm in my alternate filming area. I can't film in the library right now. The wife's sleeping right next door to it in the room right next door. She has to work tonight. I want to talk about a series that I just kind of stumbled across. You guys know I like lit RPG. I like superheroes. I like cultivation, fantasy. Okay, sci-fi. I like all kinds of stuff. This is I thought it was a superhero series, and it kind of is, and it kind of isn't. It's a superhero series and a cultivation series, and I'm going to get into that. I may talk a little bit more about the world than I actually do talk about the series so far. It's a 6-book series thus far. Book 7 should be coming out fairly soon. The author's name is Malcolm Trent, and the series is called Wish Upon the Stars. Wish Upon the Stars. Main character's name is Shane. Now, let me talk about the world. Hopefully this will take up the entire 10 minutes. So, this is a future type of world. We have an interstellar society. And what we learn throughout this book is there's multiple, I don't want to say kingdoms, but multiple empires amongst the stars that have lots and lots and lots of star systems that are part of their society. This isn't an intergalactic kind of thing. It's an interstellar thing. This is a galaxy wide at the most. Now, what's interesting here is the characters have superpowers. Most of the characters have superpowers, and superpowers are sort of a big deal. But it's actually listed as a cultivation book, and they actually talk about cultivation, not about superpowers. But the cultivation is weird. This isn't where they are meditating and gaining chi and cycling it through their dantians and stuff like that. This is the cultivation here is based around renown, is how well you are known, how much people are talking about you, how famous you are. Now, you can only get, and there's different grades: A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade. A grade, obviously, the more powerful. There is S grade, gods. There's very, very few gods, but these gods actually exist. And typically, these empires are based around the gods. So you've got your different grades. The thing is, if you were an E grade, or if you're an F grade, or G grade, the lowest level, if you are a G grade, you're on a G, maybe an F grade planet. That planet, if an A grade came to that planet, the planet would probably just evaporate just by them stepping foot on the planet. They are so powerful. They warp reality so much with how strong they are. The planet could not support them. So there are different grades in planets and star systems as well, and dungeons and things like that. Because yes, there's dungeons in this. And the renown you get, you actually, if you want to step up a grade, if you want to move up grades, you actually have to move up cities and worlds as well. If you're in a small little town, you might maybe be able to make it from H grade to G grade, maybe from G to F, but you'd have to be the most famous person in the city, just about. Making it from F to say E or G to F, you probably have to go to a bigger city, still within this world. Thor, relax. Still have to go to a bigger city within this world, but if you want to go beyond that, you actually have to leave the world. You might have to go to an E grade planet. You might have to go to a D grade planet eventually, and start meeting bigger and bigger and bigger threats. And there's an academy on this world that Shane is on. He eventually attends with his girlfriend, who started out as his idol in a way before he got superpowers. Now, this series is based around the fact that Shane's powers are different than most. And what's cool with this series is it uses skills as superpowers for the most part. So it is both lit RPG and and cultivation. You've got your stats, you've got your skills, you've got your stat list, your skill list, blending skills, you've got your superpowers, blending skills into superpowers, blending skills together into different skills or more powerful skills. It's pretty complex, really well thought out, and it's a ton of fun. But Shane has a different power. He uses his skills as his main combat stuff, his skills and his abilities, and his main skills based off of a video game. Is pretty fun, pretty cool, pretty fun. But his actual power, he's able to grant wishes. And that's exactly what it sounds like. He can grant wishes. Now, the strength of his own power is based upon his stats, which means that he can grant anything, but he can't grant certain wishes simply because he's not strong enough. And he levels up and he gains power with these wishes. Not levels up, but he gains his own personal power with these wishes, because he cannot grant a wish without taking something in return. The wish has to be paid for, and the system is what decides whether or not the payment is correct, or is sufficient. And he uses that to give his best friend, a couple other people, superpowers. Builds his own, basically, like little group, little super team almost, that goes to the academy, and they start gaining power from there. Almost everything revolves around the overarching plots revolve around Shane and his Wishmaster abilities, because he is a candidate Wishmaster. There is a Wishmaster somewhere in the galaxy that can, grant just about anything. They're basically a god level type of character, but they, every so often, there's the opportunity for a new Wishmaster to appear, and they get multiple candidates, and it turns out to be a family line. And they get multiple candidates, and these candidates have to compete, and they compete for who will eventually become the Wishmaster. Now, this competition is pretty cutthroat, but doesn't necessarily have to be, especially at the earlier levels. In fact, Shane does finally meet a family member that he never met before that is also a candidate, and ends up allying with her and getting borderline friendly with her. And it is certainly possible. I mean, Shane's father, then there's a big, long story there, because he's raised by an uncle who turns out is his guardian, and extraordinarily powerful. Which there's an absolute blast of a combat scene with the uncle. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. But Shane's dad was a Wishmaster candidate at one point, before he basically gave up on the competition and merged his power with some of his skills to change the power, so he was no longer a Wishmaster candidate, but he's still extraordinarily strong. And this is based around the fact that they're within this galaxy of different empires and planets and stuff like that. There's sort of an independent force known as the Wish Curse Palace, and it's basically like a big bazaar or even city, underground typically, and there's usually multiple, almost every major city has a Wish Curse Palace in it. Some are obviously bigger than others. They have different grades of floors. You've got your G grade area, you've got your F grade area, you've got your H grade, well, not H grade, but your E grade area. And the Wish Curse Palace is sort of independent of all these empires. It is in all the empires, and it is sort of an independent power that is pretty close to as powerful as each one of these individual empires. Guys, I could keep going on and on and on about this series. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It is amazing. It sucks you in. It draws you in, and it is a ton of fun. I cannot wait for book 7. I devoured all 6 books in one day. You guys have got to check this out. This is the Wish Upon the Stars by Malcolm Trent. It's so much fun. It is so good. So guys, please check it out. Thank you everybody for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.